Hey, what's up, everybody? This is going to be a Yuri's Revenge on Dune Patrol Allies versus Yuri. And this is actually a tough matchup for Allies on this map, because if you're Soviet versus Yuri, you get Desolators that can really protect you against a whole lot of Magnetrons. But when you're Yuri versus Allies, the Yuri could keep making more Magnetrons and Gatling tanks. And so I'm going to walk you through the strategy, so at least you know what to do and give you a chance. Because if you're playing against a pro Yuri, you're probably not going to win this map. I mean, you might win once in a while, 1 out of 3 games on this map, but you're not going to win more than 50% versus a good Yuri. Unless, you know, you come up with some new strategy. I mean, I don't know everything about the game. I mean, I'm working on trying to invent a new strategy for this map in particular, because this map is actually a special map. If you guys figure anything out, I mean, it would be helpful. But with being allies, that is. Of course, there's a little bit more strategy with Soviet. So I'm making 2 GIs. 2 GIs is to kill the brute, and it could anti-scout him. Sometimes the brute could still scout the map, even though you anti-scout him. You're trying to anti-scout him. Or sometimes I just make 1 GI because I want to put all my money into units and tanks. Either one's good, but as long as you don't have a brute punching your power plant. That one tank like that is actually not very effective, going 1 tank and then 1 -4 factory, because the point of doing that is in case he makes a Gatling tank and goes after my power plant, and that was actually really stupid right there. So I actually have a whole bunch of well, actually I'll show you guys later in the video what I'm about to show you. So here we go. I'm now gonna go into defensive. See, the GIs help a little bit, but they really suck against Gatling tanks. But once in a while, they actually do good against Gatling tanks. Just once in a while, it's really weird. And now here comes the Magnetron. See, I'm out tanked already because I lost 1 last tank. But I got 1 -4 factory, so I shouldn't be in bad shape. Just 1 Magnetron. See, oh, I got him right there. Now here's the thing: when you try to alt this Yuri clone, sometimes your tanks don't alt properly. I think you gotta select 1 tank and alt the Yuri with that 1 tank, because sometimes your tanks actually kind of like clump into each other, and then you can't alt the Yuri. It happens once in a while. It's kind of strange. Now I got 3 miners, and when he does this, I don't want to make a battle lab because I'm gonna get out tank him, and he's gonna shoot my battle lab right away, and I'm gonna die if I made a battle lab right now, especially in 3 miners. But 4 miners I can, but still a little bit difficult. So you're trying to alt the Yuri clone, I got him. Now remember, on average, my tanks have more armor than his tanks. But the fact is that he's beaming me up and stuff, and the virus is coming in. So actually, not doing terrible right now, but I am under really heavy pressure. Okay, now I gotta get away from the slasher tanks. I did it immediately. I accidentally let him shoot that plane. That was actually not good. I was trying to move that miner. So anyway, pillboxes and stuff can help me defend. And I don't like when I put the sometimes the corner miners go to the wrong ore. See, if you see, he's got you completely on the defensive, and he's just making more tanks and out-tanking you, and you gotta try to win with pillboxes, which is always not possible. But paradrops do help. Also, if you were Korea, the Korean jets would help, but a little bit better than the Harriers. But I don't think it's worth it to do that, though. And this map at least, but on other maps, definitely Korea's a little bit better sometimes. I noticed that I could really defend. If there was no virus, I could basically defend with GIs and pillboxes and grizzly tanks for a long time. But I think it's kind of unfair that Yuri has snipers. The virus are a sniper that shoot. The virus are a sniper that shoot like freaking like poison at you. Now I could try to charge him, just getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, I'm making tanks nonstop. Why the hell can't I beat him? So I kind of want to get, frustrated and just charge in. Sometimes it works. But all those Gatling tanks actually could fight he has enough of them to fight my grizzly tanks now. So it looks like I'm going to lose this fight, but if I could take out all this magnetrons, I would actually be in really good shape to make a battle lab and win a late game, if that ever happened. So I'm getting the magnetrons, but... And this is what happens. This is a rough matchup. Yuri likes to rough you up on here. And I don't want him to magnetron my miners. I want to keep making money. And I'm guessing he's on 3 war factories. Now making Mirage tanks actually is good, but if you only have 1 or 2 Mirage tanks, it's better off not even making just 1 or 2. So because actually Grizzly tanks cost 700, they're cheaper and they got more armor. If you notice one thing, the Gatling tanks can't immediately kill the Rhino tank. Can't immediately kill the Grizzly tanks. So, but a Mirage tank has less armor even though it feels like it has more because of the firepower. So you kind of have to get a whole bunch of Mirage tanks to kind of create like a firing wall. If you have like a whole bunch of Mirages grouped up, they're very, very strong. But if you just have 1 or 2, like, let's say the least common denominator is about 3 Grizzly tanks to 2 Mirage tanks. The 3 Grizzly tanks is only 100 more, $2,100 versus $2,000 for 2 Mirage because of $1,000 for the Mirage and $700 for the Grizzly tanks. 3 Grizzly tanks are better than the 2 Mirage at first, but then eventually the Mirage tanks are way, way better. Okay, actually I got a good hit on them right there. So the Mirage tanks are starting to look effective. Okay, so it looks like I'm in a little bit better shape than before. So it's going to go into a long game. Now I want to try to attack. He has no Magnetron. I could pop that Yuri and run away. Okay. Okay. See, wrong path. I hate when that does that. Actually, that's a really big deal, losing 1 tank right there. Because I actually need to get just barely enough to survive this automag. And I could get a battle fortress and have a favorable... have a 70% chance to win the game if I make it to the late game. So anyway, boom, boom, boom. And that actually, the miners be used as fodder, but actually died. Should bring up those GIs in the back. Okay, it looked like I was doing good, but then he just got me with those magnetrons. Okay, and that elite Gatling tank is really a pain right now because it's going to be difficult to take down, because anytime you go to attack it, what's going to happen is it's going to beam, the magnetrons are going to beam everything right away, and then it's just going to start shooting everything real quick, and then start popping, all my Mirage tanks real quick. So I could make a battle fortress, but the problem is, a little bit expensive, and I don't want to make 5 grand GI, so I'm just going to, it's cheaper to make a GI battle fortress, but I got to look out for mind control. I cannot get mind control. Oh, and there's a mastermind. Just when I said mind control, I jinxed myself. And he got him. But the problem is, Guardian GIs are better in a battle fortress versus Yuri in general, most of the time. But it's more expensive, $2,000 more. So I basically survived the automag. Honestly, if you could tell. It's not a late game by time, but it's definitely a late game by unit composition, and late game by, time for this map. Because a late game on a smaller map is sooner than in a bigger map. Now, if I could charge the mastermind and pop one, and then I might be able to pop the second one. I tried, but it didn't work out. I might have been able to control it a little bit better, but maybe not. If this were Guardian GIs, I think I might have shot the mastermind in the air, and then my Mirage tanks would have finished them off, and then I would have popped 1 and then popped 2, and then sometimes they pop, but sometimes popping the first mastermind is the hardest one sometimes. And if you're wondering why I sold my MCV, I was strapped for cash. I was running low on cash, and there was not too much I could do. So I was like, I'm either gonna sell my MCB, I'm not going to make any more refineries, not going to make a purifier, I'm not going to make super weapons, not going to make a second war factory. I can't rebuild, of course, but I'm taking the risk that, the one way for me to win, what could you do to win, what could you do to lose? I could get a Battle Fortress and some Mirage tanks and actually win and then kill them. There was actually a chance for me to win at a point. But this Magnetrons, that elite Gatling tank, made it too hard. And this time I'm not going to try to mess with these GIs. So this is my last chance. This Battle Fortress is either hit or miss. If this Battle Fortress fails, it's game over, basically. But remember, Battle Fortress can wreck a whole bunch of your units. And Yuri needs a Magnetron plus mind control. Particularly your Mastermind if it's... because Seals counter Yuri clones. No, okay, he's got the counter. He's got the Magnetron plus Masterminds, but multiple Masterminds. So, chances of winning this are rough, but we gotta go out swinging. We want to go out swinging. We survived the Automag at least. Now we're the late game Masterminds. It's hard to keep my... and I don't know how he sees that. Like... so anyway... and look at that. The range... that was the Battle Fortress. I got it. The Yuri clones inside the Battle Fortress have extremely long range. So that's actually ridiculously bullshit. So maybe I could try to get my Battle Fortress back. Both of my Battle Fortresses, actually. If I kill that Mastermind, I'm gonna get one back, and I could get my other one back, and then... but the Mastermind is gonna run away, and it's too hard to do. I'm gonna quit. It's a good game. I can't get him back.